Hi guys, I want to introduce you in the world of TestLogger. TestLogger is are multiple items. It's a website with a manager and it is a program with an analyzer to look at all the data, and it's a collector, the connection between car and computer. Some more pictures about the TestLogger itself. I've got some pictures ready. All equipment together is about 20 grams. So one balance weight out and TestLogger in. And wrong picture. Let's start with this one. Here you see the heart of the TestLogger, the collector. Here I plug in all my wires, and I kept it simple this time. One IMU at the rear axle, one IMU at the front axle, one sensor who picks up the data from my sensors, the motor rotations, and hidden here beneath is one sensor collecting all the data, the voltage from the battery. And it's in series with my transmitter. So all the data from my throttle and steering are logged in the TestLogger. How does that look in close? This is the IMU. This one detects all the accelerations in 3 directions and all the rotations in 3 directions. This one is in the front axle. I can mount it between the just in front of the servo. Since the last update, we can have this one in any direction as long as it's a 90 degrees angle to the direction you drive. Side view here is the IMU. And this is the item that picks up the rotations. Oh, wrong way. You see the IMU and rear axle, and a bit closer the collector. Enough about the technique in the car. Manager. Manager is the website. I'm already logged in, and this is the manager. And we start at the dashboard with the recent sessions. A release note part because it's all in development. Recent public setups, just some data. Then I have event and sessions. Here are all the runs I did the past time. And I want to take you to the ETS Luxembourg. I did 12 runs on Luxembourg. But before I go to the run, something more about the racing data, of course. I can keep track of my setups. I can give the setup changes in my car. And I can have multiple revisions, and I can make the revision by phone, by iPad, any device I have. It's a universal platform. I can have a view at my starting setup. It's this one. You see it's geometry, drivetrain, suspension values, chassis values, electronics. I drive stock, so it's not very interesting. Engine either, and some other stuff I can note. I can compare two setups. I can compare my starting setup with my final setup, and it highlights the items that has been changed. I have I have personal assets. I have my cars in here. I have 5 cars which I can run. It does something with tires, but that's more for the off-road guys. Tires is a very important setup for them. Analytics, and there are global assets where the cars that you can choose, the tracks you can run, and the tires you can use. Tracks, it's the tracks I've been. I can filter it I can have all the tracks in the world, which are added to the TestLogger platform. And there are quite a lot of tracks known in this platform. Mostly it's off-road, but we can put a filter on it and select type of track. Indoor, we can filter by country, Netherlands. And these are the tracks I've, well, all the indoor tracks available, Vianen and RC Paradise, Uithoorn is closed. And outdoor, these are the tracks known to me and how many layouts they have. I didn't like this one. You can pick a car. It's indexed. You can pick, look at an electric touring car, and these are the cars known to TestLogger, and with a setup sheet or under work, need verification or not yet started. So I drive electric touring, two-wheel drive, and we have 5 cars in it. Available, not every car has a setup sheet developed. I did this one for the FXR and the FX Evo. How does a setup sheet look like? Well, this is the setup sheet in a minute. It's very statistic, but when it's also connected to the visual map, and this is the preview on how a setup sheet looks like, with a pop-up on where the value has to be taken. Not perfect, we're working on it to make it even better. It has tabs for geometry, drivetrain, suspension, chassis. And we have tire models. Then I go to my event session, the most important part for me. These are all the events I've been. Event is a track, a day at a track, or a coming day at a track. I go to Gouda next Sunday, but I want to have to look at ETS Luxembourg. I did 12 runs in Luxembourg over 4 days, and I can select them all 4 or just one or any given order. The schedule pulled from my RCM session details, and here you see all the run times from my 12 runs. The time I did it, total time, best lap, average lap, top 5 average, top 10 average, standard deviation, and well, things that could do it 1.5 seconds better in this one. It's represented in a graph. Every run, the best lap, average lap, top 5, top 10, standard deviation. And you see here a progression, all tires, new first run, new tires, clear head. Did my practice, tried some stuff, nothing worked really, tires get worse. Then I start qualifying, new tires, lap times are dropping. Second qualification is also not so bad, and here I want too much, too fast, I overdrive myself. Finals are getting better. And it also plots all the lap times of every run I did. 12 runs is a bit crowded, so I can eliminate some graphics. So these are my 5 practice runs. Run number 1, all tires, you see it here, bad run. I can take it out. It's not useful, this data. I could also take it out in here. If I eliminate this one, it's also gone in this graph. It rebuilds this graph. So let's go back to my practice runs. You see the first 5 laps are bad most of the time, and after lap number six, I see it's getting better. I can also have a look at all my quali runs. The poly run was quite decent. It's shown here, and it's shown, well, yes, quite run. Nice, flat, consistent. Last run did spoil a good qualification. Last lap, I should say. And I can have a look at all my runs in combined version. But it is more. I've shown you my setup, and these are all the setup changes I registered during the event. Red are the first changes. Might have been that I had to correct my setup sheet sometimes. And this gives you real good information about did the setup work, how did it end up in lap time, because in the end it's all about lap times. That's the first part about TestLogger.